Hey guys, we're in Craters of the Moon tonight. We're in front of the spatter cones, which are a beautiful geologic formation formed from volcanoes. And we're using a Spencer's camera modified Canon EOS R tonight with an IRIX 15mm f2.5 lens. One of the cool things about the EOS R from Spencer's camera is they have filters that you could swap in and out in front of the sensor itself. So this camera's full spectrum. Right now we have a light pollution filter installed, and you could easily take them in and out and swap to different filters that they offer. Another one that they offer is a visible light, and also it helps enhance hydrogen alpha, which of course is the 656 nanometer wavelength in emission nebula. So we're going to do a little bit of shooting when it gets dark enough. But one of the great things I like about the EOS R is, of course, the swivel screen, just because it makes it a little bit easier to actually view and compose a scene. Alright, it's really easy to change the filters in and out. And of course, with full spectrum, you're going to need some sort of filter in front, just so the filters actually optimize and make the photos look normal. So for this one, we're just using the light pollution filter, and you just slide it in and it'll click. Now, many folks might ask, how long do I need to actually photograph the night sky? Well, there's a great formula called the rule of 500, which essentially is a number that you're going to follow to keep your stars as round as possible with the Earth turning. So basically, with a full frame camera, which this one is, and this lens, which is 15mm, I'm going to take that 500, I'm going to divide it by 15. That gives me 33.3 seconds. So any lens that you have, say if it's a 24mm lens, that number is going to be shortened because you're more zoomed in on the night sky. So for me tonight with this wide angle lens, I'm going to be able to shoot about 30-second photos without having the stars noticeably trail. So I'm going to aim at about aperture f2.8. I am going to focus on a star with live view to make sure the stars are nice and tight. I'll keep ISO likely around 4,000 to 6,400, depending on how long and how bright I need the exposures to be. Alright, so it's starting to get dark enough. We could do some test exposures, and first I need to focus the camera. So with this EOS R, I'm going to click the button on the right hand side, which just kind of will activate the info menu, which will let me zoom in, and I can zoom in again by clicking the info button to 10 times. And I'm just going to look closely and rack focus in and out until I get it to the tightest. Then I'm going to do a test exposure, and for this one I'm doing 15 seconds, f2.8, ISO 3200. Alright, so there is our test exposure, and a great way to make sure that you're in focus. You can go ahead and zoom in on the photo. Again, click the button that allows you to focus on the right hand side of the actual camera. So I'm just going to zoom in, check focus, see if the stars look good, and they do. So we have a beautiful photo, and a great way to check. You can click the info button and you can just see the settings that you ran with if you want to duplicate those settings. Okay, to check and understand how poorly or how well exposed your image is, take a look at what this graph is displaying. This is what's called a histogram, and that's showing pixels that are black on the left and pixels that are white on the right. So I see this graph which is showing the pixels in the image, and I'm seeing that the majority of them are to the left, which ideally I want to shift this more to the right and get a better exposure. So the way I know how to do that is I'm either going to increase the shutter speed, aperture, or ISO. In my case, I want to leave the aperture set at 2.8. I'm going to increase the shutter length to 30 seconds, which, since we talked about that 500 rule, I can get away with 30-second exposures without having very noticeable star trailing. So let's go ahead and do another exposure. Alright, so this is the image we did previously. You can see most of the data is still on the left. If we go to the image we just took, which was 30 seconds, double the exposure length, you can see now most of the data has shifted a little bit further towards the right, which means we have a brighter image. So we can just zoom in, and again, we can check the star focus, and there'll be a little bit more trailing compared to the previous image, but wide angle lenses, it's very hard to notice, especially when printing these images as well. And for curiosity's sake, we can go ahead and we can take out that light pollution filter and replace it with the visible and hydrogen alpha filter and just see the difference in the images. And we'll do the same 30-second exposure and let it fire away. Alright, so we have this image and we replaced it with the light pollution filter, and you could just see a little bit different, all because we just quickly swapped a filter. And that's one of the powerful things about a full spectrum modified camera from Spencer's Camera, is that it allows you to quickly swap filters and give yourself a little bit different images depending on what you're trying to shoot. Alright guys, to wrap up with this shoot, we did 30-second exposures, aperture of f2.8, ISO 3200, just because it still fully wasn't dark out, but I like the fact that you could change different filters with the adapter. And one other cool benefits, I really like the swivel screen, obviously, for different angles that you're working with. I wish all other camera brands would go with the swivel screen. It just makes it a little bit easier when you're out shooting and you can get very low on subjects. So in conclusion guys, when you're doing wide angle nightscape imaging, definitely remember that 500 rule. Just take the focal length of your lens, if you're on a full frame sensor for the camera, divide it by 500. So you have a 33-second exposure length with a 15mm lens on full frame, which is what I was doing tonight. Further magnification, you go up in focal length, then you will have to shorten the exposures before you get star trailing in your images. But all in all, super nice night out. Milky Way is really coming into view, and we have Comet Neowise behind us on the hill again. So we're going to take a few more photos. Clear skies, guys. Have fun.